Hey guys, Chicago injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, shooting you another video. And the topic of today's video is getting past anger, pain, fear, and frustration in your injury case. So, what do I mean? Well, I talked to a guy who was involved in a motor vehicle crash. His kids were in the car. And so they were going straight. They had the right of way on a busy street in Chicago. And another car was coming off a side street. The car coming off the side street had a stop sign, and the car didn't slow down. It didn't stop. The car came right out of the side street and T-boned my client's car with his kids in the car. And from the minute I signed up the case, I could tell that this dad was very emotionally engaged and very I guess the word is triggered. I don't like using a word like that. But basically, having kids involved in an injury case, any parent, especially moms, don't mess with mama bear, right? But this guy's really, really, really upset. Now, by the grace of God, lots of car damage, very little personal injury. Uh, the kids got checked out, they're fine. Dad was in treatment for about 60 or 90 days. Um, Medical records do not show any profound, serious, ongoing injury, and just not, nothing major like surgery or anything that's going to need surgery related to the crash. So, it's a run-of-the-mill car crash case, and by the grace of God, thank God that they avoided serious injury. So we were able to get medical together when they were all done treating and send out a very detailed demand letter. Got a demand letter and got an offer. The first offer was garbage. We're seeing that a lot right now, where your first offer, they're offering less than the medical bills for reasons I don't know. There's one insurance company right now. They're doing it on every one of their cases. They make me call them between 12 and 20 times to get to any kind of reasonable number. But, that's my job. And I guess it's their job to get us to take as little as possible, right? So, anyway, solid case, but not a lot of injuries. And that's the kind of case where I'm like, there's not a lot of upside for the client if we go to trial. But anyway, I brought them each offer, explained that the initial offers were garbage, and everybody knows they're garbage. And nobody expects them to take the money. And so we finally got to a better number over the course of 2 or 3 months, and spoke with the guy, and he's like, no, I want to go to trial. And I told him, well, look, it's not a lot of money. It's far more than your medical bills, and you will be putting, 1,000 or two into your kids' bank accounts, and you're probably going to put $5, $6, $7,000 in your bank account with all the doctor bills being paid. So, for 60 between 60 and 90 days of physical therapy, that's about what these cases settle for. If there's no hook or reason why it's likely we're going to go to trial and ring the bell on it. But he doesn't. He didn't want to take the money, and I don't blame him. And I have cases like that all the time, and I tell people, look, if we put it into suit, we're not going to get to trial for 2 or 3 years. You're going to have to take off work and prep for a deposition, present for a deposition. You're going to have to come in if there's an arbitration. You're going to have to come in and do the arbitration and prep for the arbitration. And at trial, I'm going to want to prep you for a day or two so that you're comfortable and you understand the process and you're ready to go. And then, you have to be at court for the entire event. And he's like, well, that's not a fair amount of money for what they put me and my family through. And you know what? I told him something, and I think it surprised him. I told him I agree. The real value of these cases has to do with what it's done to your life, how it's disrupted your life, the activities and memories that you didn't get to experience in your life because somebody was careless behind the wheel of a car, or you got hurt at work, or wherever it is. But I'll tell you the same thing I tell everybody, like, there's a cost to having a case over with and moving on with your life, and there is a risk when you litigate a case, because they're going to have a very educated, usually very experienced, sometimes very dedicated, sometimes not very dedicated at all, defense attorney and insurance company who is willing to spend money to beat your case no matter what. That means they are willing to spend $10,000 or $20,000 to reduce the value or beat a case that they probably could have settled for $20,000. That means they'll hire a billing expert to say that your medical bills are not reasonable and weren't necessary. They'll hire a doctor, or sometimes two or three doctors, and that's like the situation that you end up in. And then you go to trial, and they attack you, and they go into your background and all that. And obviously, I know how to defend against all that stuff. Been doing this a long time. But I think sometimes people get it in their head that they just go to court and they're going to tell those 12 strangers plus the judge what happened, and the judge and the strangers are going to step into their shoes and feel the emotions, the anger, the fear for your children, the pain, the inconvenience. This is something I think about all the time. I live a very busy life serving injured people and running my law firm. I'm busy all the time. And I think to myself, like, other people are just as busy as me, some of them even more busy, probably. What if you're a person who works two jobs or three jobs to make the ends meet, and you're trying to manage your kids, and you're trying to have occasional fun once in a while? And now you got to interrupt that with going to doctor visits 3 or 4 times a week and walk around in pain. The thing about pain and a limp or a sore arm or a sore shoulder or sore neck and back that we don't really think about is it makes everything you do in the course of the day harder, and it makes you not want to go do stuff. So I try to bring all of that to life to the jury so that they understand. And if they do understand, we end up with, much better results at trial. There's really no way to bring it home to the insurance adjusters. They type your info into a computer. The computer spits out a settlement range. So that's the way that works. But there is a point at which you have to get past the fear, the anger, the frustration, and a good lawyer can help you do that. And there are cases where my client doesn't want the money, wants to fight the case, and I think it's a really, it's a mistake. And usually what I'll do is, if it's a close call and I think I can get them more money, if they want to proceed, we'll go to court. But if I think that they are turning their nose up to a really, really, really good offer and that they're making a real mistake, nope, not a chance, not a chance. Then what we do is we litigate it. I guess my point is, do I have a magic bullet? No. All I can tell you is talking about those feelings will help you process them and get past them. Um, Talking to your family, your friends, your priest, your counselor, and then realizing that you don't want to do something, make a decision emotionally if it's ultimately going to be a waste of your time and it could mean less money or more or no money. and also having to wait a really long time on a case where your lawyer tells you this could go any way at all. You don't, and listen, we're all human beings. We all make decisions emotionally that later we realize we shouldn't have made, or we get mad at somebody and we say something we don't mean, or we do something, that's not nice. Hopefully, as you get older, you get more control of your emotions. But when it comes to this stuff, I get being very emotional when a child is involved in a car crash. But it is really, really important for you to, sort of objectively gauge um, these sorts of situations. You don't want to be in a situation where you turn your nose up at a good offer, they withdraw the offer, you're stuck in litigation for 2 or 3 years. At some point, your lawyer tells you that there's, a witness that came out that's against you, or they found some other medical records that really make the case impossible to prove, and now the money's not on the table anymore, and it's a real problem. But I don't know. I guess that's all I have to say about that. Um, I know for me, just waiting and thinking helps me process negative emotions, and just, they say time heals all wounds, and emotional upset and anger over something, I've found that that definitely is the case for me. It helps me process. So, um, if you're going through an experience like that and you want to talk about it, or if you're one of my clients and you are having a situation like that, please feel free to give me a call anytime, night or day. 312-895-0545 is the office number. But the best way to make sure I get your message is by calling my 24-hour marketing line. It gets answered, and then they send me an email and a text message right to my cell phone. And so usually when I get those messages, I call the person right back. So that number is 312-500-4500. Gets answered every day of the year, anytime, day, night, afternoon, morning, evening, you call it. And so that's that. So thanks for watching. I hope that you and your family are doing well. If I can be of assistance, definitely give me a call. I've got some interesting links in the description, but once again, thanks for watching and have a great day.